Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers podcast, episode number 332. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
And what is going on, sir?
Oh, just another lovely day. Video games are aplenty, and I don't have any time to play them.
It's I have all this stuff and just unable to play with it.
That is correct.
That is true. I haven't touched the arcade one up in forever. Your score is still on there. It pisses me off.
And it will be there forever, sir.
Damn it. Maybe
until you realize that you'll never beat it and you'll give me the arcade.
Where would you put it?
I would put it in the library.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't realize you had a library. Okay. That's my fault.
Yeah, it's right there.
You see those two books? That's the library.
wait, I gotta wait. Here's my library. Here's one book.
Well, there you go.
Here we got one book, and here's another book. They're notebooks, but
not even. They're journals. Good luck. Nah, all good.
You don't want to know what I write in those.
Another week of the podcast with him. No.
It's been 7 years.
It's been actually almost 30. I still can't shake him.
I try, but it just doesn't go away.
Oh, I really am like a boil. In any event, but we got a good episode coming up this week. One thing I want to mention just right off the bat, and I sent this out actually to our group chat, and I just want to mention how and if it's in your news, I apologize, but I just want to mention this right now. The world of food and drink and video games are merging.
Oh,
so again, if it's in your thing, I apologize, but
it's not.
Okay.
It's something you sent, right?
Yes,
so
a couple things.
So that I didn't read it.
Okay, that is actually do you know how many times, not even in your chat, in many chats, I send something and same day, within 2 hours, someone sends the same thing going, look what I found. Am I on mute? Which I probably am. First of all,
maybe you send so many things, people have now just tuned
I really do. I don't know what people follow that I follow.
You like to share.
I do like to share, which is weird because I don't like people.
Well, I was going to say, you're an only child. You should not like this.
This is very true. That's why I'm single and will be. All right. So, Oreo has recently put out, I don't know if they've hit shelves.
Oh, okay. This news I know for sure. So,
yeah. So Oreo has put out, and I ordered, and they showed up Super Mario Brothers Oreos.
Very nice.
Yes. Now, they're not just a cool packaging, but apparently starting July 10th, and I still don't have any details, Oreo is running a contest with Super Mario Brothers.
How many Oreos you can eat in one sitting?
Well, I would win that in a heartbeat, trust me. Basically, the front says, collect cookies, save the kingdom. Discover all 16 cookie designs.
Okay.
So that's a lot of Oreo.
That is a lot of cookie.
That is too. And remember, these are chocolate sandwich cookies. They're sandwich cookies.
That's a lot of chocolate sandwich cookie.
So again, no rules yet. It starts on July 10th. Whether or not this package will remain closed by July 10th, we shall see. I'm shocked it's still closed now.
Don't eat the contest.
Imagine I found all 16. Now please send in all 16 cookies.
Yep.
So nevertheless,
well, you're about to see something special.
Oh my goodness. So it was pretty cool. Nevertheless, though, I like the packaging. Pretty cool. I'm really curious how things are going to run. But these were now available because I know you tried ordering these after I ordered them.
Well, yeah, when you told us about them, I went on the website, and I'm still a little suspect in terms of how you ordered them because they had a Walmart pre-order available. So I ordered the maximum number of boxes or bags, whatever you want to call them, available.
Imagine you got boxes which each contain like 25.
Yes, I ordered 5 boxes of I ordered 5 orders of Oreos. So I got 5 packages coming. Larry was very adamant when he told us, he's like, it's only limited 1 per order. And then literally 2 minutes later, I'm like, Larry, I just ordered 5.
What? Yeah, because I don't know if
you ordered from Oreo, right? Not
did.
Walmart.
So here's the thing. Well, the link went to Oreo. So Oreo.com. So I don't know if I did it day one. I'm not saying I'm the first one to do it, but I don't know how early I got, because it did say limit 1 and there was this got delivered straight from Oreo.com.
Right.
So because the shipping was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
well, maybe you just didn't notice the Walmart link.
No, it definitely wasn't there.
Because I was on the Oreo. I mean, I was on the Oreo website link that you gave me.
No, I believe you.
And I found the Walmart link.
Because I clicked on it too to check it out. Because I would have ordered more.
I know you would have.
But that's why I ordered one.
Yeah. Well, that's why I told you I bought 5. So go to Walmart and order 5.
Now, be careful, because I actually, just a side note, I was joking about like ordering 5 boxes, which contain multiple Oreo boxes. Yes. When I was working at a bookstore, I actually did that. I needed to order 25 empty boxes. I accidentally ordered 25 pallets
of boxes.
Of 100 boxes each.
You ordered 2,500 boxes.
This truck showed up. I'm like, oh man, you got a lot of deliveries today. Where else are you going? He's like, I'm going here. I'm like, what are you talking about? And we had to accept the order. We couldn't deny the order. And we had 2,500 boxes in our storage, in our tiny, tiny storage room.
How did you manage that?
I don't know.
Only you. Only you.
It was phenomenal. So, and also, what was going back to the Oreo thing? Hopefully you get this with yours, Aunt. I got a really cool. I got a letter actually.
Oh,
which is very reminiscent
from Princess Peach.
Not as much. No, this is from Oreo, but still, it looks like the Princess Peach letters from Super Mario Bros. 3, which I love.
Very nice.
And it does say, I'll just read it real quick. Princess Peach is missing.
Again?
Here, let me do this as a game, like when growing up I wanted to be. Yes. Bowser is trying to take over her castle. You're one of the first people, to receive our Super Mario Oreo cookie packs. So we need you to lead fans in a cookie challenge to defeat Bowser. Good luck. See, I'm in charge of this whole thing.
Yeah, I see that. All these years of Mario fighting Bowser, and we had no idea that all it took was some Oreo cookies to beat him.
And I'm folks, in 3, 2, 1, and dip. So, wow. Nevertheless, very cool though with Oreo, and I'm kind of curious to see what the contest is like. The other thing I ordered, which I don't have here right now, and this is in very limited supply. I always find it fun, like when you see, for a while it was coffee beans, that a lot of companies were putting out coffee bean bags. The other thing is wine. And just recently, Tetris, official Tetris, announced that they have a wine that they're putting out.
This is the new way for Tetris to help you with PTSD.
A very better, fun way,
right?
Yes, no, totally. It's I'm trying to see if I can pull this up here real fast. Probably not. But nevertheless, it's a wine, like a red wine. Only 100 bottles were being made. So as of this recording, as of this posting, I don't know how many's left. I know at least 99 are left.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to see if I can pull.
Just going to add that to your collection.
Well, yeah. Here we go. So it's this Tetris wine from, I think it's called rockthewine.com. Oh, excuse me. That's my dyslexia. Okay. Wines.rock.com. Oh. And yeah, just pick up the Tetris. You know what? Here, let's do this one.
Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, I'm going
to.
So I'm going to make your life miserable. Here we go. So you get the Tetris, right? Official product and a certificate of authenticity signed by Alexei Petronov.
Nice.
Petronov. So I thought very cool. Petronov. So I don't know, just something simple. You know what I mean? It's nothing major. It is I think it's a Sylvain Grenier.
No.
Did I not say it right?
Is it? I don't know.
It's a red wine. I know that's all I know.
That's all we need to know. It's a red wine.
Oh, here we go. Cabernet Sauvignon. Excuse me.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
And it ships September 2023. So I thought pretty cool.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
Yep. And anything you pick up or anything like that? I mean, it was.
Did I buy anything this week? Let's think for a moment. No.
Okay.
No.
Cool.
Haven't made it out. What's funny though, it's retro related, but not retro game related. But my VCR stopped working.
Oh my God! Now.
So I need a new VCR.
Wow. I can't believe you're still using a VCR.
I'm not. I took it out for a project and it's just, and I have a VCR DVD combo. The DVD side works great. A VCR, not so much.
Not so much anymore.
Yes.
Oh,
So I'm going to be hitting up some thrift stores this weekend.
well.
Hopefully I'll find a VCR and maybe some video games.
In all honesty, I mean, yeah, hit the thrift stores, but they do sell. I've seen HDMI DVD VCR combos. I'm just saying it's 2023.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah, something to look into.
Yeah,
But to be honest with you, I don't use the VCR that often. This is a special instance.
Gotcha.
Where I pulled it out to use it.
Enough.
And to be honest with you, I may just it could be that the heads on them are just done.
Bad,
and I can and I can just order those and fix it. But
Fair
I may
enough.
just, if I can find one at like a thrift store for a cheap price.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
So all right,
They're
cool.
not so cheap online anymore.
No, nothing is.
Yeah.
So.
But then I can finally go back and watch the Super Mario Brothers Super Show as it was intended.
All grainy and tracky.
That is the only way to watch it.
So, well, actually, speaking of VCRs and old mediums that could rot away, it kind of brings us to our topic for today, in a way. And it's funny, I was just thinking about this the other day. Collection. I mean, obviously, I got my game collection behind me. Ant's got an amazing game collection. Most of his is original. All of this was bought from scratch, unfortunately. Stupid Hurricane Sandy. So, all right. So through the years, whether it's been purchasing from a thrift store, and like you said, a flea market, a retro game store, eBay, or even owning the original games from day one, at some point, you're gonna get wear and tear on them. And I was thinking about this because, and I went ahead and I ordered it on Etsy because I've been loving Etsy recently. Kind of like replacement parts for cartridges or replacement parts for games, not the consoles, but the games themselves.
Right.
Like, is there some point where you leave it is because that's the way God intended? Is it cool to maybe jazz up an old game, kind of give it fresh paint, and again, I'm not saying there's a right or wrong, just kind of like, how to go about how you feel. Is there certain situations where you might leave a game alone because it's showing some wear and tear, or as I like to call, love?
No, I mean, me, I'm an originalist when it comes to my video games. I like to keep them the way that they were when they were released. But it's getting to a point now where, just to be frank about it, everything's getting priced out of the market. So
that's true.
And for that reason, it makes me reconsider the idea of actually buying things to kind of like give my games. So in other words, like, I don't like having loose games. That's a thing for me. Yeah, it's just always been an issue for me. And a lot of my games are loose because obviously when I was a kid, I just wanted the game. I didn't care about the packaging.
Oh, we all threw away the packaging.
In a lot of cases didn't care about the instruction booklets either. It's just like
gone.
You put the game in and off you go.
I didn't even know how to learn how to read to be able to read.
Yeah. But now when you like go online and you see like, oh, a game complete in box goes for several $100s. It's like, well, it's like I'm not running around collecting all of those just to complete my original packaging. So it just brings me back to, I would like the opportunity to actually clean up mine. And I did it once before because you had sent me a link. You had sent me a link to a game case company.
Custom game cases.
And I actually got a bunch from my N64 collection.
I learned about them because they made wonderful Virtual Boy cases.
Yeah, so even though Larry learned about them for a bad reason, they're actually good quality cases.
Yeah, very good, high quality.
Where are my N64s?
I would show you my Genesis ones, but I just recently took them all out of the box and put them in this little shelving units that I got.
I'll show you yours if you show me mine.
Hey, giggity.
Hold on, here we go. So here's like my Majora's Mask.
Very nice.
Yeah, and it's a great case. I really like it.
Holds up. Great printing.
Yep, great printing. Holds up really well. And they have all the, they have the original case art on it. It's not like they made anything up. And then, and then the game fits nice and comfortably inside it. And I actually have the lenticular one.
Nice.
Now, and I pulled this one out specifically because my cartridge actually needs a little love.
Really?
Well, because I don't know what happened to it, but the bolts on the back,
Yeah. Whoa. Are gone?
yeah,
They're not just like they were
like
loose enough.
something.
Holy cow!
Well, the plastic on those pieces just broke. So my Majora's Mask is in
Oh
two
my
pieces.
gosh. Well, those I'm gonna be honest with you. You can find those bolts anywhere. They're not.
Oh no, well no, but the
Yeah.
problem is it's like I think the plastic. If
Oh,
you look
that
at the
might be a different ball
look at
game.
the
Yeah.
look at the little plastic
Oh yeah, yeah,
pieces, you
yeah,
see
yeah.
how they're messed
Ooh,
up.
yes,
It's
yes,
hard to
yes.
see, but
Well, okay.
they
So
are definitely busted. So that brings a question of do I want to replace the case? And my answer is no, because this is the original case
okay. So and
for my
that was
game.
gonna lead to a question because now the original case that's all now we're talking about the actual shell of the game.
The shell of the game, yeah.
Um, a lot of times we see like a lot of these remakes with these really cool shells, like there's like this Battletoads Double Dragon. Again, this is a reprint, if you will, but it's got this
Right.
really cool clear blue case. Like if you can find shell, I mean,
Yeah.
like if you're able to find like a fancy looking Zelda and still keep that case, the board is still the game.
The board is still the game. I would consider replacing the back of the case if possible, but I don't want to get rid of the front of the case because that original artwork, especially on this game, is beautiful.
Oh, agreed. I agree.
And I don't know if it's the gold cartridge. I don't know if they all came out with gold card, if they
No,
were all gold or not.
there were definitely some gray.
Yeah, because I also have Ocarina of Time, and that was the interesting story behind my Ocarina of Time was when I bought these cases and I went to go put my games in them, my Ocarina of Time vanished. And I had no idea. Like, because that's a game I know for a fact I would never sell. Like all my Zelda games have always been in my collection from day of purchase. Never gotten rid of any of them. So the fact that my Ocarina of Time was missing was like a travesty. I wound up buying a copy at Book Off.
Okay.
In
silver. Yep.
In the city.
I mean, gray.
But I got the gray one, and it bums me out because I had the original gold.
Yeah.
And one day I want to buy the gold, but of course the gold is going to cost me more.
A little bit.
Yeah. But I do love see, to your point, custom game cases, really cool. Keeps the game in the shell really well. It also has, at least for N64, it has a holder for the memory card.
I remember those. Yeah.
Or
yeah.
So, or the Rumble Pack, maybe. No, the Rumble Pack wouldn't fit.
No, it would definitely be the memory card.
Actually, I was thinking for Star Fox, they should make room for the Rumble Pack because that's what it came with.
Who knows?
Remember that?
Yeah, I said I remember that. I was thinking of the PS2 because PS2 did that. Yep. But it is cool that custom game cases does let you keep the memory card. For a little while, DS games, for not some reason, but it was a pretty cool idea. DS, I'm talking Nintendo. DS cases also let you store one Game Boy Advance inside of it.
Very nice. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
very nice.
Very, very nice collection.
Yes.
I
have a bunch more. I bought like 10 of them, I think, the last time.
And that's like I said, I bought a bunch of Genesis ones, but then ended up taking them out of the case and putting them in the shelving unit you see above my head here.
Yes,
which I do like. Freed up a ton of room. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, you did.
But now I'm going to go one step further. I've bought some games. One example here is Android Assault for Sega CD.
Yes.
Right. Gorgeous game, beautiful game. And it did come with the sponge. So to keep the game in there.
I actually need to buy a couple of Sega CD cases because I have a few games without the original cases.
And they definitely sell them. And that's what I'm getting. Like this one, like when I got, this one, I'm pretty sure I bought off of eBay. I don't think I bought it in store.
Very nice.
It's got some cracking in it. All right, there's a crack there and a little crack on the bottom.
Wait. You bought a new case and they gave you
no. This is how it came.
Oh, that's the OG.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, for all I know, this might be a new case, but it was so cracked. But when I bought this game, it didn't have the back art.
Mm-hmm.
The back art was completely missing. So that's when I went on Etsy. I purchased just the back art, which was cool. And I mean, it came out really good. I mean,
that is really good.
So now I might step it up, just go one step further and just maybe buy a new case. And I've seen like you can buy like there's like you can buy like 10 or 25 at a time.
Of like you can even buy like blank cases, right?
No, that's what I'm talking about. Blank
Yeah,
cases,
just
yeah.
blank cases.
Because not
Mm.
only that, but I also have some, and same
Now
goes
now
for
you have me looking at the site.
it's not through custom game cases, it's just various
No,
different
I
sites.
know. It's just I'm gonna wind up shopping today. You always
So
make me shop.
wow, well, you know what? What can
Shame
I
on
say?
you.
Shame, shame, shame.
Shame on you.
Now, these cases
Wait a
or this
minute. Did 8-Bit Christmas come out with its own video game?
not that I know of.
Okay. Just checking.
Unless that's the soundtrack you're looking at.
Could be. Anyway, continue.
So this argument also can bode for the Sega Saturn. There's also have some games on the Saturn, and it's the same type of case.
Yes.
Even PS1 might have went this route for a little while. So
PS1 went the large case route in the very beginning because
no. What I meant was I didn't mean to cut you off, but what I meant
Okay.
was I wonder if it's the same. Oh yeah, it is.
But you do it so well.
I do. I learned from the master. The cases, you know what? They do look the same. Now I'm wondering if this was a replace. This had to have been a replacement case.
That is a replacement case. That's not an OG.
But maybe not, because the way the back is, the back is printed right
case,
on.
No, the case is the original large PlayStation ones
had box. Sometimes was a box like this.
It was like that. That's the original.
But they could have reprinted it at some point. Oh, redesigned it.
I don't think they ever redesigned it that way.
I don't know. Now, all right, now I'm curious.
I think they went from like the one you just showed of Gex.
Yeah.
They went from that to the small like compact disc cases.
Well, I'm interested.
And yes, I called it a compact disc.
Some games I have on both Saturn and Sega CD also were, now these were just thrown into like a DVD case with custom printing, which I'm fine with in itself. But again, I can step up the game. I can go online and I can buy a full case with, I don't think they sell, some places might sell the actual reprinted instruction booklet.
Yeah.
But even at this point, I'm fine with just cover art.
Yeah.
You know, I don't necessarily need the book because knowing that it's not original, you know what I mean? I'm not too worried about it.
Well, but for those kind of cases, like a Sega CD or a PlayStation, the cover art is the instruction booklet. So like if I'm gonna order it, I want the cover art because I like the cover art.
No, 100%.
So
yeah, but I'm saying like cover art might be only a couple bucks versus having to reprint the instruction booklet, which may be like $20 or something,
which is fair. Yeah. I can understand that.
So now I'm thinking about putting all of these type of games I have in a regular DVD sleeve into their respective larger components.
Okay.
Again, something I'm thinking about.
You're gonna need more shelf space.
Don't tell me. Well, no, I have shelf space now because I got these Genesis above my head.
Yeah, but are you gonna get cases for those as well at some point?
No, I have cases for Genesis. They're now sitting in a bag.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
So
I saved.
Okay, got it.
Here's what I did. Some games I bought the custom game case, stored it in there for a little while, and now bought the shelving for this.
So when you went to
meaning I didn't need the
custom so just a heads up. So when you went to custom game cases, you didn't read the article they wrote on why use custom game cases for your collections?
What's the article?
It's basically the article telling you that the environment will cause dust and damage to your games when they're out, which is why it's worth buying the cases, because if you keep the game in the cases, it will help preserve them. You have now gone backwards on your Genesis games and took them all out of the case to stick them on the shelf.
I don't think, to be fair, and this is not a shot at custom game cases, I know they follow us and we really truly love you. But, and again, this is not a shot.
Don't make enemies.
I'm not making enemies
because I want to order from them.
No, go trust me. I'm just saying, I don't think that might be 100%. I think it's a good sales pitch, and I agree with it.
I'll disagree with that because I'm actually.
I agree with it to a
point. No. I was actually going to bring up another article that I came across today when you were talking about saying, "Oh, we're going to talk about, protecting or cleaning up our collection." On timeextension.com, which is a retro game website. Hold on.
I know, but I think you got the topic messed up.
What were we talking about?
I'm not necessarily saying preserving for longevity. I'm just saying cleaning up.
Yes, I understand.
Oh, okay.
But cleaning up to me also includes preserving. Because preservation is important for these games. Some of them are 30 years old, 30 plus years old, and it's like eventually wear and tear will get to them. And wear and tear can just be sitting idle. Right. So I was when I was looking for retro news today, I came across this article on timeextension.com, and it was literally about, are you concerned about sun fade ruining your retro game collection? And
Oh,
so
that I've always thought about. Yes.
yeah, so I perused the article, and basically they were like, oh, we just realized we have all of these games in our offices, right? And they're all on shelves, kind of like the shelf you have behind you.
Yep.
And they didn't realize that the sun coming in from the window, even though some of it wasn't direct sunlight, was actually fading all of the cover art on their games.
No, that I know, because that I've had happen.
Right. Well, you're having it happen as we speak.
Well, no. This is not bad because, in all honesty, this is not really a direct shot. The way the sun comes in the window,
yeah,
it doesn't really hit the back.
No, I understand.
It is right now because it's open.
Well, yes, but what I'm saying is over time. It's not something that happens overnight. It happens over months and months and months and months.
So I've had it happen. I've had stuff. I have a window, where like when you come in, where all the pops are.
Yes.
There's that window over there. And sometimes I'll just put stuff on the little ledge there.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it there. Actually, one of which was a newspaper of some sort that I had. And I just left it there. And yeah, like months later, because that gets a lot of sun, that area over there. And yeah, that paper almost faded to blank.
Yep.
So trust me, I am fully aware of the whole sun situation.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
agreed.
It's not just sun; it's also dust and all this other stuff. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why I'm bringing it up, because, I do like the idea of buying game cases and things like that to not only kind of complete a game, even if it's a reproduced, but also to protect the game,
which is fair, no problem. I don't, how can I put this? I'm not saying I don't buy into that as far as.
Well, you do, because you buy them.
No. I bought them just because I only bought the Genesis ones.
Right.
I only bought that because that's how you had it until I, did the shelving unit. Yeah. And the whole dust and everything. Yeah, I get it. That could happen. But I've learned, there's cleaning techniques. There's, and plus these are kind of butted up against the wall, so it's going to be a little tough for dust to get in there. I'm not saying it won't happen, but I always, right before I play a game, a lot of times I won't blow into it, but I got an air compressor, if you will, and just zap it real fast. And then that's usually ends up being fine. So again, the boxes, definitely a cool idea. For me though, the boxes are going to be more for the CD games. Because like the carts are the carts. Yeah, I'm buying boxes, but unlike you, I don't really go for the box 100% of the time. I'll go for the box if it's a game that I truly absolutely adore, or if it's just really cool looking cover art.
Right.
Beyond that, I'm not really worried about the box too much.
Okay.
Now with that being said though, I'm going to go one step further, because I do have a couple of Genesis games and a few Nintendo, but they're holding up better than this. Genesis games where the sticker on the front of the cart is just like pretty much gone. Now this is the front of it's fine. This is Biohazard. Biohazard, I can't remember the title. Okay. This is Battletoads Double Dragon. And same situation where the front's good, but it's got a lot of love to it. But the side art, where what the game is gone.
Yeah.
So, and I did order from Etsy, which should be showing up any day now, replacement labels for these two carts.
Okay.
So, and that's like what I'm talking about with that, like to jazz it up. I don't really plan on reselling any of these anymore, selling them back. Maybe one day in the future when I'm like, 50. And I'm at the tail end of everything.
Oh,
maybe I'll return. I'll sell them back.
That's not depressing at all.
No, I didn't say depressing. So basically that's what it is. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see when I get the case, the labels. When I put them on, I'll see, how much of a difference it does make. And to this point is where I'll say this. So I collect the games. I love the games, but unlike you, and I respect where you're coming from, I'm not as prevalent to keeping, as long as the board inside is still good.
Yeah.
Like I almost thought about buying replacement shells, just like do like a different color or something like that. So, and that's where I'm coming from, and we'll certainly see what happens with
All
it.
right. Well, yeah, I'm of a mind where I want to keep the original components as long as I possibly can. That's just
Fair enough.
And that's just me.
Hey, listen, that's why we do this podcast. So
that's true, to show how we disagree and how you're wrong and I'm right.
Wow. Unbelievable. Maybe accurate, but we'll see.
Possibly.
You know how we can tell if it's accurate or not?
And we ask other people.
Exactly. And where can they chime in on this topic?
All right. If you guys want to compliment me on how right I always am over Larry, you can find us on Facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast, on Instagram @RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter @RetroGamersPod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube @RetroGamersPodcast, or you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
Yes. And with that, we are going to move on to this week's Game of the Week.
Game of the Week.
Yes.
All right. And I picked a good one.
You really did, man. I remember how good it was, but I forgot how good it was, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yes. And this all stemmed from me watching the show on HBO Max, which I won't call Max. We talked about that last week. Wait till
Peacock does it.
I know. So I was watching The Adventures of Batman. I'm sorry, Batman the Animated Series. I was watching Batman the Animated Series, gave me the idea to go back to the Super Nintendo game of Adventures of Batman and Robin, which I remember very fondly growing up. And I've actually played it, I think as recently as like a couple years ago. I remember doing a live stream playthrough. I don't remember if it was just a random one or if I did it for Victims and Villains. But I definitely did a playthrough of it online. So Larry, I'll let you go first since I was the one that picked the game. But what are your thoughts on the Adventures of Batman and Robin for Super Nintendo?
Again, going into this, I've always said that Adventures of Batman and Robin is like one of the top 5 Super NES games, period. Not even in a superhero genre or a Batman genre, a Super Nintendo genre. Just a smooth beat 'em up game. The controls are spot on. They're tight as could be. The graphics are pulled basically straight out of the cartoon. I mean, like you said in last week, there was some, well, now we were able to definitely say it because last week we remember it. Episodes, I mean, the levels were pulled straight from episodes of the TV show.
They were.
Yeah, it was amazing. I always loved the game. I haven't played it in a long time. So again, this gave me a reason to play it again. And unlike a lot of other games that I've played recently, where I feel like now that I'm older and I have more patience, I've been getting through games more. I've been completing games more. This one went the complete opposite because I got up to Poison Ivy's level, which is only level 2. And it's kicking my rear horribly.
You haven't figured out the pattern?
Well, first of all, I've only gotten to the boss maybe twice. Some of the jump patterns and trying to remember how the grappling hook worked just took me a little while.
Well, you're gonna hate to see my playthrough.
Well, no. Listen, when we were younger, because I feel like I remember playing this together. I don't remember when it came out exactly. What year?
I believe it came out in 94. I'll look it up really quickly.
So that would have been right around when we met, maybe a little bit before we met. But it would have been still new enough where we would have played it when we were hanging out. Because I remember vividly us being in your living room, because we usually hung out at your house. Being in your living room, playing this game, and it was up to the Riddler stage. I've gotten far. I think I can say
December 94.
Excuse me. All right. Oh, we've already, I think, known each other by then. I think we met already. So, and I remember and I've never beaten this game. I know for a fact I've never beaten it, but I've gotten far. In fact, I've gotten to the Riddler stage, which is, I think you said, next to last.
Second to last. The very last stage of the game, spoiler alert, is really just you go through a gauntlet of all of the villains.
Oh, boss rush mode. All right, cool.
Yeah, you do boss rush at the end. So the Riddler is the last single stage, like single villain stage, and then you go through, and then you just go through the boss rush mode. The interesting thing, and I'll just bring it up now, about the last boss rush mode, you play every villain from every board. However, also at the end, in the middle of the pack of villains is Clayface, who doesn't have a board in the game.
Interesting.
So I found it interesting that they went through the trouble of creating him and put him in the boss rush mode, but they didn't give him his own level. And I was just wondering, maybe it was a space issue.
I don't know that. Maybe he was supposed to be the final boss. Who knows? Like the final, just moved him.
Yeah, not sure.
But I wanted like to reminisce. I remember sitting in your living room, and it was the Riddler stage, and there's a part where you have to solve a riddle.
Yes.
And I remember us sitting there trying to work this riddle out. And it took us a while. It might have taken us like a day or two, because it might have been a weekend where we hung out. And you know, finally figuring it out. Finally, I'm sure you were the one that put 2 and 2 together on it.
Probably. Oh, the Man-Bat was also in the final boss rush.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Penguin, Scarecrow, Clayface, Catwoman, Man-Bat, and Joker.
Okay. You know, it's funny. I always, probably because you just played Riddler.
Well, not only that, Riddler was never the physical fighter. Yeah, he never really fought that much.
Yeah. And it was funny, you know, when I first played the game, I remember like, wow, Joker's first? That's odd.
Yeah.
Like, because Joker is the villain for Batman.
You think he would be the final? Yeah.
But no, he was the first one, and then later on. So yeah, so level 2, kicking my butt now. I definitely did better at this game when I was younger. What I do appreciate though is they really kept Batman to being Batman. Like the first level is all gangsters, and you're punching them, they all disappear. Like you're punching them, you're kicking them, they all disappear. You get to the second level, Poison Ivy, and the enemies are all women, and you can't punch them. You only stun them with your batarang, and if you grab them, they kick you.
Yes.
So Batman, still being the gentleman that he is, not physically harming women,
with one exception.
Remind me.
Catwoman.
Oh, well, Catwoman, yeah.
When he faces off against Catwoman, he has no problem punching her in the face.
Well, no, because it's Catwoman. She can defend herself. It's okay.
Yes.
But still, I always found that funny. I forgot about that until I started playing the game again. So,
no, I love that. And that's what I love about the game. It has those little details like that.
Yeah, totally. For a game called The Adventures of Batman and Robin, sorry, Robin, really, you know, not much to be. I don't remember him too much, let alone at all in the game.
No, he's an NPC.
Yeah. So very, very interesting.
Well, maybe you don't remember him because you didn't get past level 2.
Again, I did when I was younger, but now, and I've been playing it for a few days, and I just can't do it.
He does show up. He does show up in level 3.
That's my complaint. That's my one complaint.
Okay, what are you complaining about?
No, my complaint is the game. Each level has sections, like sub levels, kind of, if you want to call it that. But if you die, like on the boss, except for the first level. Because Poison Ivy, I kept going back to the beginning of the level. But I feel like if I died against the Joker, I just started the roller coaster over again.
You did.
But Poison Ivy, I went all the way back to the beginning.
I thought that only happened when you had to use a continue.
Okay.
When you had to
that answers my question then. Okay, so you have lives in this game?
You have 3 lives in the game.
I thought so. All right, here's why I'm getting frustrated. Because I have the password, right? I beat the Joker level. I got the password.
Yes.
I thought the password would at least reset your lives. So now when I'm playing, hold on. So I'm playing her level. I die, and it goes straight to
game over.
Game over. I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because the password captures what
the
password captures what your score is at that point, how many lives you have left.
That I did not. I thought at least. So I'm like, it was almost like a Mandela effect. I'm like, I could have sworn I just had lives in the other one. Man, I gotta start this all over again. All right, I will though, because I got better through the first level.
Well, that's
all right. Well, complaint withdrawn.
There you go. See, I fixed it. One of the things I liked about this game a lot was not only were the levels fun, it's a nice classic side-scrolling beat 'em up. It does require you to there's some timing things you have to do in terms of jumps and stuff like that, using your grappling hook at the right time. So like there's a lot of little nuances that they put into the game that makes it feel like a Batman game, which is cool. You know, you have your utility belt weapons that you get to pull out and use. The graphics to me are great because they're straight out of the cartoon.
Almost perfect.
Straight out of the cartoon. And like you said, the levels in the game, most of the levels in the game, if not all of them, I'm not 100% sure,
Mm-hmm.
but most of the levels in the game come straight out of the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were talking about the Riddler one. I literally just watched that episode yesterday because I'm binging the show.
Yeah.
I watched a Riddler episode where you go through the maze of the Minotaur, and the riddles in the video game are exactly the riddles from the show. So if you wanted to play this game and you got stuck, you can just go find a copy of the show.
Maybe that's what happened with us.
And
Maybe like
it.
a rerun of the episode came up. We're like, oh, there's the answer.
There's the answer. Yeah, because and it's just really cool to it was really cool to see that transition where it's like, oh, they literally took the show and made it into a game. So it felt like, you were on the show, when you're playing it. And right down to some of the dialogue in the game. Like, again, the Riddler board, like there were things that Batman was saying in his dialogue in the video game that mirrored exactly what was said in the show.
Okay.
So I like that attention to detail. Granted, it also made making the game easier because like, oh, what challenging level should we do? Oh, grab episode 33 and just turn it into the game. So I thought that was really cool. I like the fact that every villain pretty much gets their own level.
Yes.
Granted, Clayface and Man-Bat do not, but it's nice to give a variety at the end for the gauntlet run, which is cool. But the fact that all like the major villains in Batman's
gallery
rogue gallery,
rogue gallery,
rogue gallery, yeah. His rogue gallery are in there. So it's like you got Joker, you got Scarecrow, you got Penguin, Catwoman, Riddler, all of the greats, which is cool.
Oh, yeah.
I like the fact that Robin was relegated to just an NPC. However,
a Robin fan?
No. Because I like that it was squarely Batman. And this is my one small complaint.
Okay.
Because it's a beat 'em up game, it would have been cool to make it 2 players so you could have somebody play as Robin.
Yeah, it was a little interesting that they go that route.
Granted, a couple of the level, at least one level maybe wouldn't work that way. And I'm talking about the Two-Face level, which, by the way, was the level I got hung up on the longest because you have to drive the Batmobile, and that was a pain to get. You have to drive the Batmobile, and there's a timer. So you got to get to a certain place within a time, or else you lose.
Yeah.
So that was the board that took me the longest to get through. And as of right now, I'm right at the end of the Riddler stage, and then I'm planning on beating the game.
Okay.
I'm going to go back and finish it.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, my only other complaint were controller assignments.
Really?
Well, because my issue was, if let me remember this correctly, the B button jumps, the Y button punches. Fine.
Yes.
And think about where those are on the controller.
Yeah. Yep.
On the other side, the X button changes your weapon, and the A button uses the weapon. For the life of me, when I'm pressing the buttons, I would normally it's like, punch would be Y, then using your weapon should be X. So you just go left to right when you want to use something. This way, you have to go diagonal. You have to go from Y to A. And I kept screwing that up, and I kept going Y to X, and I kept switching the weapon instead of using the weapon. And I got frustrated just a few times from doing that.
Did I have that issue on Tomb Raider? I feel like I just experienced that on one of the games we did a couple weeks ago.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, it was you actually, funny enough, it was the first one we did, Batman, where select was pause and start cycled through.
Yes, which is weird.
Yeah.
So same thing here. I just thought, like, again, not a major complaint. And I don't know if you can change the controller. I didn't go and look, but just a minor tweak.
I think you can.
Yeah. A minor tweak of swapping the X and A buttons to me would make the game so much easier in terms of, muscle memory with your thumb.
I think you definitely can do it in the options.
Okay.
Now, here's the other question, which I don't remember coming across this too much on my original gameplay when I was younger. You have the ability to swap out sub weapons.
Yes.
Like, I never understood why, because it's not like if you equip everything, the only downfall of that is that you got to cycle through a little more to find what you're looking for. But again, if you're used to it, it goes pretty quickly. So, I don't know.
No, there was really no reason to, except to make it simpler.
Yeah, yes.
And there are certain level, and to be honest with you, those extra 3 items You only use them one per level, really.
Yeah,
So
it's interesting. So
yeah, so like I know um the flashlight you use on the penguins level, the gas mask you use on Scarecrow's level, and then the
which makes sense.
yeah, and then the X-ray goggles for the Riddler.
Okay,
That's how you use those.
all right, cool.
But that's the reason why I think they were just optional, because you
Yeah,
only need them once for a level on
gotcha,
that, and you're done.
gotcha.
So totally get that. But again, to your point, I would just add them all
Mm-hmm.
for every level when I don't know, and just cycle through them. It just takes an extra second to really, hit the
Yeah, it's not the end of the world.
So not that bad.
No.
I'm trying to think of what else. Just the board variety was cool too.
Yep.
Like you said, like every board you go through does feel a little bit different. Granted, the beginning of them may be a little, it's just like side scroll, punch, 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 move forward. But when you get to the villains, it's kind of fun. The Joker with the roller coaster is really cool. The Penguin has his helicopter shooting at you while you're fighting him. Catwoman's board is a lot of fun because it's literally like a race.
I think I remember that. Yeah,
a race along the rooftops, and then you go down and you fight her in an alley. Makes total sense.
Of course.
So, like, all in all, like every time I play this game, I never get tired of it. I always enjoy it.
Awesome.
It's a game I always go back and play again.
Mm-hmm.
The replay value to me is great. If you're the type who just beats a side-scrolling beat 'em up and moves on, then it's one and done. But just overall, a lot of fun.
All right, awesome. So with that, excellent week, and with that as well, and as you see, for those, you're already, by the time this drops, you already know what the game's going to be. So for those who didn't see it, this week's game of the week, I did make it a little easy because I'm not going to be home for the week. So I have it on Switch, but you play any version that you know of. As I'm getting a call, let me find that. Contra 3 on the Super Nintendo.
Ooh.
Alien Wars, yes.
All right.
Contra, a game I've never beaten.
All right, we're gonna stay on the Super Nintendo.
We are again just trying to make it easy as, again, for me, admittedly. But you can play any version, that's available.
Very nice.
And that's what we'll do for next week. And with that,
sounds like fun.
I think we can move on to news. Let's ready to wrap this up.
Oh, we got some retro news. Yeah. I'm gonna fly through a couple of these.
Okay.
Some of them are not a ton of retro news, but enough to just flip through. A couple of documentaries I came across.
Oh, okay.
That are new. So as of right now, the definitive Shenmue documentary is available to buy or rent online. I don't know if you've ever played the Shenmue.
Oh, Shenmue for Dreamcast?
Shenmue. Yes.
Oh no, I never played it, but it's definitely, I've heard it's a good series.
Yeah, they've had several games.
Yep.
You can buy or rent the game. It's called A Gamer's Journey: The Definitive History of Shenmue, or Shenmue. I don't know how to say it.
But
Shenmue. It started as a Kickstarter in 2018.
Oh wow.
They've sent out the digital and Blu-ray copies already, but now it's available to buy or rent on Apple TV, Amazon, YouTube, Google Play, and the Microsoft Store.
Okay.
So if you're a big fan of this series, go check out the documentary. Another documentary I ran into, since everybody's making them now. This one is still active, and you can back it if you want to.
On Kickstarter?
Yes, Kickstarter for an in-depth documentary on the legacy of the ZX Spectrum. It's called the Rubber Keyed Wonder, the ZX Spectrum movie. It's already raised over 100,000 euros, which is great. It's going to start going out to backers in September. So I'm assuming this is closed.
Okay, so
maybe you can go on the page to link stuff over.
Just pulled up two of them. It's the same project, I think, but there's one currently. It's the final cut version of the movie. I think the first one was to get it going, and now might be just
now it's
the movie itself.
Yeah, you can still back the project on Kickstarter. So if you're a fan of the ZX Spectrum and you want to check out the documentary, head over to Kickstarter and back it up.
Ooh, signed collector's box.
Okay. Few other things. This was interesting. People love to take video games from one system and port it to another system, right?
Yes.
For some odd reason. But some an indie developer or a fan developer named Infidelity.
All righty.
Well, I'm not going to touch that. I don't judge. Has ported the original NES Legend of Zelda onto the Super Nintendo.
Ooh, 16-bit looking?
No, I think it's just it looks like a cleaner version of it. Yes.
Gotcha.
But it is available for download.
Okay.
And you can check it out online if you're interested in playing the Super Nintendo version of the original Legend of Zelda. He used an emulator called Project Nested, Nested.
I feel like I've heard of that. Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's now public. You can find it online. Enjoy it. I mean, I personally love the original Legend of Zelda.
Oh,
one of
it's
my
classic.
favorite games.
Don't touch it.
Somebody's gonna touch it.
Real fast before we move on, because I knew I remember this. Just real fast. Speaking of the ZX Spectrum, when you were talking about it on Kickstarter,
Yeah.
A very good friend of the podcast, Aaron Elfstrom. You can find him on social media at Cablebox Mods. He recently just got his hands on an original ZX Spectrum.
Ooh.
And he just cleaned it up. And it's looking beautiful. I don't know if he's got it working yet, but he at least cleaned it. Nice. So it looks new.
Very nice.
Yeah, so very cool. Definitely check him out. He's always tinkering with these old systems and bringing them back to life. So
yeah. All right. Let's see. Nintendo Online Expansion Pack added 4 new Sega Genesis games this week.
Out of nowhere, as usual.
Yep, out of nowhere. You can now play Ghouls and Ghosts.
Awesome.
Crusader of Senti.
Nice.
Landstalker. And the Revenge of Shinobi.
All great games. I feel like they just, at this point, they're trying to put out as many as the games they put on the mini as well.
Yeah.
But 4 heavy hitters. That sent the Century one? What the hell?
Yeah, Senti. Crusader of Senti.
Great game. I actually have a repro of it. Great game.
And the Shinobi games I always enjoy.
Oh, loved it.
Yeah.
Ghouls and Ghosts goes without saying.
Yeah. So more Nintendo news.
Mm-hmm.
This was interesting that I read. So a bunch of unseen Nintendo Space World 2000 footage was posted online.
Okay.
Nintendo Space World 2000 was an event that Nintendo held, and it's one of the places where they previewed the Nintendo GameCube.
Ooh.
So
is that the one where like it's a bunch of celebrities holding GameCubes?
I don't know.
Was that a launch? Maybe that was a launch party.
Yeah, that might have been a launch.
Yeah, someone dropped like some photos of like, I guess, a launch party game. Like Paris Hilton is there, like she's holding GameCube like she's normally holding a purse or some small chihuahua.
Well, this is basically like this is like Nintendo Direct before they did Nintendo Direct Online.
Gotcha,
that's what these were. So they have the conference section of the video, and then there's footage from the show floor, including tech demos for Wave Race, Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Mario 128.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Banjo-Kazooie, Luigi's Mansion, Perfect Dark, so on and so forth.
Dark.
So you can go online and check out some footage of the Nintendo Space World 2000.
Awesome. I'm gonna jump in here for a moment, just kind of give you a little bit of a break, because I wanted to mention something. I saw this because I was looking up the rubber keyed ZX Spectrum thing on Kickstarter.
Yes.
There is a Kickstarter happening here. So I don't know if you remember when I kickstarted back a few years ago, ColecoVision.
Yes.
Right? I got this wonderful little mini Robotech mini arcade.
That's not the only one you bought.
No, well, I had also purchased the Rainbow Bright version, which I had since sold because I ended up getting Rainbow Bright, the exact same game, for the NES.
Okay.
Because admittedly, Rainbow Bright's like an RPG, doesn't really work on these systems.
Mm-hmm.
Works very well on the NES.
Okay.
But Robotech is cool. And I do love this arcade. Coleco, they put out another set as well like a year or two ago, which I missed out on, but they're back with 3 new games in this style of these mini arcades.
Oh, nice.
Yes, they are Frenzy,
Okay.
Berserk, and a game
Oh,
and Top Racer. And what's cool about Top Racer, which is it's like for real quick, think of it as like an outrun type game.
okay.
Um, that arcade will have a little mini steering wheel.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah. So those are currently on kick. Like
But
they just launched.
you had me at Berserk. I love Berserk.
Oh, Berserk is awesome.
Love Berserk.
Remember the song from Pac-Man Fever
Yes.
soundtrack? I
Mhm.
think I'm going berserk. I'm
Yes.
going out of my mind.
Stop singing.
So yeah, so that I mean it's like less than a month left, so they just dropped.
Mhm.
They've already passed their goal. They wanted
Nice.
10,000. As of this recording, they're at almost 28,000.
Nice.
With 29 days to go. So definitely check that out.
Very
I think
cool.
I'll put a post on our page. So.
All right. Yeah. And I might grab the Berserk one.
Yes, and
So.
try and grab them early because they always have that early bird special. You get them a little early.
Yes. Okay. Couple more bits of
Yeah.
news, and then I got to give my cat her treats because
Uh-oh.
she's waiting. All right. So I know there's this one bit of news that you wanted to bring up that you may have forgotten, but also from news from Nintendo that the one of the world's most famous Game Boys is retiring and going
Yes.
back to Nintendo headquarters. Do you want
It's
to talk about
going
that?
it's going back home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
the
for it.
very, very famous Gulf War Game Boy
Mhm.
was on display at Nintendo New York City for decades. Long story short, it was a victim of a bombing during the Gulf War, got fried, and somehow still works. It survived.
Yep.
Actually, I think the true story really is the soldier sent it back to Nintendo to get it fixed. Like, can you do something about this? So admittedly, they might have changed the innards a little bit, but bottom line,
Yep.
it's been plugged in and working this whole time.
Yeah.
But now it's been sent back, so it's being retired. But it shows how resilient those Game Boys are.
Yes. And I hope that soldier got a free Game Boy replacement.
I think they did. I think they
Yeah,
certainly
I
did
would
him
think
right.
so. Yes.
And I also know real fast, I know how good the Game Boy is because a friend of mine, his little brother actually microwaved his Game Boy.
Oh,
No, and I was there when it happened. And
nice.
we caught it quick enough. The plastic started melting, but it was running.
Nice. That's funny. All right. So we got that. One other thing, I don't know if this is something you might be interested in or not, but
Right.
the Sega Shop in Europe, they are going to be releasing 4 vinyl albums this year in July, which is now.
Yeah.
One of them is going to be for House of the Dead.
Nice.
One for House of the Dead 2, and one for Virtua Fighter.
Ooh, interesting.
So interesting. And then the House of the Dead one is there's like a special box set, so you can buy them separately or get a box set of them in red and blue marble. They look really cool. Or you can get the Virtua Fighter one. So
cool
for shopping. And then my last bit of news, Larry.
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't think you were aware of this because I definitely wasn't, because we've been watching Sony State of Play. You're watching whatever Microsoft calls theirs, Nintendo Directs. We saw the one for the Sharp X68000.
Yes, that's right. We did
announcement. Yes. Like literally,
everyone had all these.
There are all these different showcases going on. Well, I'll have you know that on June 29th, last week, you missed the first ever Homebrew Summer Showcase.
Really?
Homebrew Summer Showcase. It was a 30-minute event.
Oh my gosh.
Organized by game developer Matt Hewson.
Okay.
And it featured games from a wide range of retro consoles, all homebrew games for NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, Sega Master System, Genesis, Dreamcast, Virtual Boy.
What?
Vectrex.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's available online.
I hope so.
The cover of the showcase, actually, I'm looking at the cover of the showcase on the YouTube video.
Yeah.
140 new games across 17 retro consoles.
All right.
Yep. And then there's a list of everything that they announced on the showcase. So for anybody who loves homebrew games, I know Larry loves homebrew games.
I do.
I'll send you the link.
Okay,
you
cool.
Found it already?
I don't know.
You can check out the Homebrew Summer Showcase 2023 on YouTube.
I found it.
All right. And that's it for Retro News.
All right. Well, then let's wrap this up real quick one more time, man. Where can they find us and let us know about how they're enjoying Contra 3?
You guys can find us on Facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast, on Instagram at RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter at RetroGamersPod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube at RetroGamersPodcast, or you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
And with that, we'll wrap it up. And have a wonderful week.
You have a great week as well.
And folks, we'll catch you everywhere next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.